another episode of Keep Trucha. Tonight is the season 1 recap. We wanted just to kind of go over everything with you guys and also let you guys meet Abel, aka AC Delgado, who's behind the scenes, been on production and graphics for the company, but tonight you guys can meet him. So AC, just go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up guys? AC Delgado here. Yeah man, good to finally meet everybody out there. Hope everybody's doing good. Thank you guys for tuning in. A little bit about me, I am just in the background doing production and graphics, so yeah, really excited to say what's up to everybody.
Yeah, man. It's good for everyone to finally meet you as well. And so, like I said, we're doing a recap of Season 1. We'll get into every episode. But before, just to give a little background, we've talked about it before, but the inspiration for Trucha Thursday and Keep Trucha basically stems from us wanting to create more than just a brand. We wanted to create a platform. And the whole purpose of, Trucha Thursday and Keep Trucha is to showcase Latin influencers and creators. Basically just give people a forum or a platform for them to showcase themselves, because it's not really us doing it, it's them showcasing themselves. We're just kind of providing like a little bit of an outlet or a platform. And so so we'll just get into every episode. AC, what'd you think about the first episode?
All right, that was Risper, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, his name really messed with me for a while, but I think I finally got it right. Risper, dope dude, man. Really patient with us. We're just getting our bearings and stuff like that. So I definitely shout out to Risper, bro. And a dope artist, you know what I'm saying? Really, his stuff kind of reminded me of hopefully it doesn't offend him, but it just kind of gave me like an essence of like lowrider art, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of like that feeling, and then kind of like, damn, like Chicano art from prison, like not to get into it, but I've definitely had some sent to me, and it kind of gave me that vibe, and it was like kind of nostalgic for me.
Yeah, I don't think that would offend him at all, because his most of his work is ballpoint pen. So that
ballpoint, right.
Yeah. So that gives it that whole, like you said, that Chicano prison style format. I mean, my takeaway from it is essentially the same. The only thing I would add, I mean, you could see it in the background a little bit right up there. And he mentioned in the episode was that his work, he wants it to be where when someone looks at it, every time they see something different. So his work is super complex, and it's like, it's true. He adds so many different like aspects to his work that, you look at it one day, you look at it the next, and you'll see something else. So so that was kind of my takeaway from that first episode. Also, that was like you said, that we were kind of catching our bearings or getting used to everything. So it was kind of different for me to get into like the whole interview process and like, and we talked about it, over and over again, but just basically how to come in, how to, navigate and not, stop him or get in the way of like the train of thought. Jumping into the second episode, that was with Akil. Yeah, that was cool, man. It was cool to talk to him. I mean, I'm a fan of his work, obviously, and to be able to create the platform, but not only for showcasing, but for us, as fans and as supporters, it was cool just to kind of pick their brain. And for Akil, at least for myself, the amount of like work or effort that he puts into his lyrics, that was one big takeaway for me, and you can tell in his music that he really thinks about each word and like how to set up the next one. So that was kind of cool. I don't know about you. What were your thoughts?
All right, so I had a little bit of like a different experience with that, because like I had met him a couple times, you know what I'm saying, in person, but yeah, I mean, as an artist, he's like super dope. But it was like a trip for me, because like a week after we did that interview, I ended up going on tour with him. You know what I'm saying? And like, what was so dope about like not necessarily the interview, but me like chilling with him for like a month almost, was like what he portrays on like camera and via his interviews is like, that's him, bro. That's like real life, and it also like seeps into his his music. And yeah, man, he's very thoughtful about what he says, and he has a very the reason why I thought he would be a good fit for the show was because like he has a very like Mexican American forward type of approach to his music, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like Chicano rap like Capone, whatever, but more like something along the lines of Delinquent Habits. And so I'm definitely like appreciative of him, you know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a great episode. Really dope guy. If you guys get the chance, I would definitely check him out.
Yeah, 100%. And then jumping into episode 3, it was with Barbara Rivera. And
Yeah, right.
what were your thoughts on her?
This is probably like one of my favorite episodes because like Barbara's art is just like there's like a sense of realism to it. It's obviously like more realistic, but it has like a dreamlike sense to it, and I just love like the the colors that she adds to it. It was definitely a dope episode just hearing her talk about everything that she had to say. I don't know, man. There's just something that feels so familiar about her art, and I just really like. I definitely just like can appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It just looks like I don't know, man. Did it feel like a souped up version of like Mexican calendars? I don't know, like.
Yeah, no, I
don't know
what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like this shit was. I've always loved those the art on the calendars, like the ones that you get at the taquerias and the marquetas and shit. So it just looked like my grandma's house, bro. And then her subjects were super dope. You know what I'm saying? What she had them in, like their outfits and stuff. I just loved it all, man. I can't even. There's really nothing else I can say.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I see what you mean when it comes to like the tradition and the culture. The culture's like. Speaks through her work insanely and she's just a really personable person. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but she's just like very down to earth. The way she carries herself is very humble and very personable, and so her work, not only the culture but for me too, like the fact that she really wants to not only put our culture or empower our culture, but all other people's cultures. Right. So when we're doing the episode, she was working on that one piece that I can't remember who it was a commission piece. I can't remember for who, but it was of like a few different cultures all in one, and and a lot of it was youth. A lot of it were like children that she likes to put in her paintings, which is another cool thing because it's like. Not only the culture aspect, but you're kind of reaching out towards like the youth, and there's some sort of like innocence, and it was just kind of her work's just really like culturally sound, is the best way I can put it. But yeah, great episode on hers as well. Episode 4 was with Skilly, both of our mutual friend, and I know you guys work together a lot, so I know you probably have a different outlook.
Man, Skilly's my bro. Okay, so let me get into the reason why I brought him on, and I thought he was a good fit for the show because I don't know. Obviously, there's a process to everything. Like we kind of, in a way, nominate people to get on here. If I'm like, you know what I'm saying. So I nominated him and Ills Kill, obviously. And the reason why I nominated Skills to come on is because, like, I'll keep it all the way buck. Chicano platforms, like the, gangster rap Chicano platforms, they don't really appreciate non-Chicano artists. So, like, any chance I can to, really put a platform on for any Hispanic rapper that, isn't a cholo, I will. So that's why and there's I love all my cholos, shout out all the homies and stuff. But, I just want to put on for, the people that are like me around me as well. I'm sure we'll probably have a cholo rapper maybe in the future. Who knows? Anyways, the dude's dope. Really cool guy. Doesn't really have much of a filter, which is something that I love personally. You know what I'm saying? And he just really speaks from the heart, man. Immigrant. He's an immigrant. You know what I mean? He's one of the hardest working guys that I know, not just in rap and music, but just in general. Like, he's out there ranching up every day early, working out on his dream. To me, he's like the embodiment of just people use the word dreamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like somebody who, came from, another land, came and made something of themselves and is just really busting themselves to make something.
And it was cool for me because, I know him, obviously, I, grew up in Idaho, so that's how I know you, that's how I know him. And so I've like communicated with him and kept touch over the years, but it was cool to, ask certain questions that just for myself, I wanted to kind of know more about him. And that's one thing that really rang true through the entire episode was, the hustle, the state of mind of like, confidence and like, how trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And that's one thing that I've seen, not just from that interview, but I've been able to watch and be a fan of, which is like, people who experiment, people who aren't afraid to kind of, push the boundaries. So that was a huge one for me on that episode. And then for episode 5 we had Emilia Cruz, and Emilia, so she was on Trucha Thursday, and a few other people on this were as well. But her whole like outlook and her view is very, very heavily involved in like empowerment of women and women of color and the youth. And I think in today's world it's kind of a touchy subject for some people. Some people are like, you don't want to go too far left, too far right, yada yada yada. But on a fundamental level, at least for myself, and I'll just get it on a personal level, I think anytime someone is working on something that empowers people, I love it, like just straight up, I'm 1,000% for it. And people like herself, artwork like hers, is kind of what, at least for myself, gave me a little bit more of inspiration for our next icon drop, which we'll get into here within the next maybe couple weeks. But our next icon drop is a huge female figure in Mexican history. And people like Emilia Cruz really put on for women, so respect to her. What are your thoughts though?
No, absolute, man. I just like to echo everything that you just said. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of like not fast forward, but just kind of like skip ahead into our like next segment after this.
Yeah.
This was actually like my favorite episode because I don't know what it was, man. Like everything that you said, but I just got like a dope feeling from her. She was just dope. You know what I'm saying? Her art style is just like super crazy. Not super crazy, but it just kind of has like this, I like to call it creating fearlessly type, something like that. Like I can just tell like she just creates fearlessly. You know what I'm saying? She's not, and what I also like is like her subjects are it's what she wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you can just tell she's like, all right, I want to paint my sister.
Yeah.
And I want to paint my sister a lot. Like I'm going to paint my sister a lot. So stuff like that always just like makes me excited because I'm just like, yo, that's super dope. You paint what you see. Yeah. I do like how you said her work is like very like Chicana, not female centric, but majority is Chicana centric and stuff like that. I love it, bro. There's nothing else I can really say. Like it's super dope. I can get into that later while I collect better thoughts and stuff of why this was my favorite episode. But
and I think it's not far fetched to say her work's crazy because some of her work is like, and she even when she was on the episode, she even kind of was like, one of the questions was, how would you explain your work to a complete stranger? And she was kind of like, how to like think about it, because her work is kind of not really in one category, so it's like it bleeds into other ones. So that
it kind of has like or something like it kind of feels like super vibey, like with, for lack of a better term, just like super vibey, really bold. You know what I mean? Like. Yeah, I just loved it. And what this episode showed to me was like you could have a very like we're versatile, bro. Like Chicanos are versatile, dog. Like we can do it. We can just like kind of like do whatever. I don't know. I probably sound crazy, but like we can just do whatever the hell we want and not have to worry about like what anybody else thinks, because like we can do what the next community can do. Yeah, and we can like put ourselves into that, mold it, and like manipulate it so it resonates with us.
Yeah. You don't have to be, just because we're Chicano or Chicana, or Hispanic, whatever. You don't have to, be painting a Mexican flag in every single image. But I see what you're saying for sure. And then so the next one was Luis Garcia. That was episode 6. And what were your thoughts on his episode?
All right, so I'm not gonna front, man. While we were recording the episode, I was like, "Sheesh, man, I am a little lost on what he's saying." You know what I mean? Obviously, everybody out there who's seen the episodes, I don't say anything during the episodes. I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like I really was pulling up Google to like trying to figure out what he was talking about. So that was definitely just a big learning experience to me, like to even realize what's going on down in California and some other parts of the country, with the educational system and teachers. You know what I mean? And it just the thing that stuck out to me with that was he's a dope artist. I see you got his the Rey Mysterio piece behind. That's sick, man. Like aside from being a dope artist, like and having passion for that, he's passionate about teaching. You know what I'm saying? So that's what like really stood out to me. And shout out Luis Garcia, man.
And I agree with you too. I mean, I know a little bit just from following him and following, I'm from LA, so I have a lot of people I still talk to and follow from Los Angeles. Actually, some
Oh, for sure.
teachers in my family as well.
Okay.
So I had like a little bit of knowledge, so I kind of knew what to ask, but I didn't really know like 100% as far as the exact details. So it was cool for me, and knowing that, just recently when that episode aired, he was involved in a march, in California, a strike. I mean, it was a strike.
Right.
It was cool because he not only, like you said, is passionate about art, passionate about teaching, but passionate about his students, and like he'll like get them involved, and they, a lot of his students were actually in the march or the strike with him and with his co-workers. Yeah, man, just again, I think, now that I'm thinking about it, like, literally everyone that we've interviewed has been super down to earth, and he was no exception. He was just really cool to talk to, and it was cool, like you said, it was a learning lesson. It was cool to have somebody on here who was a teacher to kind of give us, like, let us know what's happening in his side of the world, so we can kind of just be more conscious about it and just kind of see what else is out there. So yeah, that episode was cool because it was different. It wasn't who we typically have, and we try to keep it diverse as far as professions and
Damn, I might switch my favorite episode up now that I'm thinking about it. What I immediately got from his interview or his episode was he used this word agency.
Yeah.
He used it a lot, and I was like, the thing that I loved the most about that episode, he was like, it's cool to like learn, make a bunch of money or whatever, and then get out of your community. You know what I'm saying? But it's even more beneficial to like stay in your community and like really do something, like really have an agency. And that word just like really, a lot of recent events, that just kind of like really reminded me of Nipsey, bro, of how, not to get real deep into it, because that just be like a whole, what he was talking about. I felt like that was Nipsey, bro. Even though Nipsey wasn't, through, education or the arts. Well, I guess music is an art. Okay, I'm rambling now. Anyways, I just felt like, okay, that like was a perfect embodiment of what he was talking about. And now, like when I go back and listen to his episode again, because I do frequent it a lot. Like I've watched it a lot more times, like maybe like 3 or 4 times, which is unusual. But like I go back and I'm like, that word and his goal to his students, that just resonates to me so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. And I think the comparison or the parallels between the foundation or the fundamental value of that agency of giving back to your community, it's although Nipsey was on like such a greater scale and he influenced a lot more people. It's cool, like you said, and you kind of brought that up in my mind, to be able to see that there are other people who may not be getting paid anywhere close to what what Nip was getting paid to or paid for, and doing it, But yeah, like you said, respect to Nipsey. I mean, he's a huge influence on myself. Absolutely, big time. So, rest in peace to him. They're doing a vigil, I think next week. So, but yeah, so episode 7, the next one after that was John Parra. And the cool thing about him is I met him down here in Florida. So nice. He came out and I met him through Jose, someone who we had on Trucha Thursday a while back. Okay. And he's an illustrator, an award-winning illustrator for children's books. And so that's what he was doing there. It was like a little event in Lake Worth, Florida for, children. It was a free event. He gave out free one of his new books, gave them out for free, signed them, everything. And he was super, like, really, really, really chill, down to earth. Yeah, got to kick it with him, got to talk to him, chop it up. I didn't want to, like, reach out to him or talk to him there, but the whole time I'm, like, thinking, damn, man, I got to talk to this dude. I got to get him on Trucha Thursday and eventually keep Trucha. So yeah, I reached out to him. I don't want to do it there just because it was his moment. I don't want to like overstep my boundaries or anything like that. So, I waited and I reached out to him later, and he's cool, man. He reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I checked out your site. It's cool. I respect what you guys are doing." And he was, he was down to hop on. So, yeah, his episode was cool, man, because, again, to keep the diversity, keep new people from different professions, different careers, in different places of their lives to come onto the episode. That way it kind of lets the platform be more, like, not just one specific genre or career. Yeah, just to see, his whole take on, again, keeping culture in all of his work, all of his color. Yeah, his color palette is like, really, really infused in culture. And so it was cool for us to be able to talk to him and kind of pick his brain on where he got to that point and how he, got so much success in what he's doing. And that was cool just to kind of be able to see firsthand and ask him, how he got there. So what was your take on that?
Sorry about that, guys. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We are back. Just to pick up where I left off. John Para, super dope. I really like that episode because for me it kind of hit a chord because like when I was young, I grew up in Idaho, so there's, as far as I can remember, there wasn't like a super big Mexican culture around here. Could you agree, Christian?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. What I think would have, definitely helped me, get into my roots a little bit more would have been, books about my culture, people like me. So like looking at that, I'm just like, I'm really excited for, what, kids have nowadays, and they're able to like, see people that look like themselves in books, and then look up to somebody like John Para, who's, a Hispanic Latin, author. So yeah, definitely dope dude. Chill as hell. Shout out John.
Yeah. And Jose, it was funny. I was talking to Jose too when we were, or he was telling John when we were all, kicking it after the little event.
Oh yeah.
Because John was doing throughout that whole week, John was doing like little, like stepping in or stopping into schools and like doing little presentations and stuff like that. And little workshops, and Jose was like, because Jose works with the kids a lot in Lake Worth. That's he's a huge advocate in the community, and Jose was cracking jokes. He's like, man, he's like, all the work I've been doing down there. He's like, you come in and get like this crazy reaction from them, but it's true, and it's cool to see that because it says something. It basically is saying that this guy's coming in. And he's almost like, and I told him in the interview, he's almost like I don't want to say superhero, but he's almost like, he's famous. He's like someone who's like to look up to, and it's cool to have that absolutely be an illustrator. It's cool to kind of see that kids appreciate that, and they're kind of like looking up to that. So episode 8, it was with Santi from California, from LA, and he's a photographer. What were your thoughts on him?
Yo, Santi was dope, man. We definitely had a lot of like technical issues when it came to his episode. Yeah. Super chill guy. I really liked his stuff because it was like raw. You know what I'm saying? Like just to keep it a buck, I've never been to like the trenches of Southern California. You know what I mean? But when you look at his photography, you see what he sees, and you know what I mean? It's like his photography is like, it's beautiful, but it's not like sensationalized or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like you can just see the essence of whatever he wants you to look at, and it feels like you're almost there with him. Even with like the style choices that he uses, he focuses like he has a photo of, I think I'm not entirely sure who it is, so if I'm wrong, forgive me. It's some gentleman in some green bandanas, and he uses a technique of just soloing that green just to like really make that stand out. Yeah, and he just does stuff like that. Shoots a lot of black and white, which I love. And super chill dude. Yeah,
I agree 100%. And the cool thing too, one of the biggest takeaways for me on that episode was the work that he's doing too with To Live and Die in LA. That was cool because it's basically a page, and he describes it perfectly in the interview. But it's basically a page that shows everything about LA, everything about the culture, the people. He plays a pivotal role in that in terms of, the photography and helping to capture what takes place. So that whole collective that they're doing there is really cool, and I love seeing it. It's similar to what you do, in Idaho with the music scene, with the people, the cipher you just did. It's very similar. I love when people from a community can create something like that, as far as a collective, as far as just like-minded people who want to show what their city's about, what their friends are about, and what their hustle's about. So absolutely. So that was a huge takeaway for me. Yeah, like you said, super chill guy. And we're also, just a sneak peek, we're working right now, I don't want to get too much into it, but we're currently working on something with Santi. More details will come out about that hopefully within the next maybe month or so. But really exciting to be able to work with him. He's again extremely talented and his work speaks volumes. So that rolling into the season finale, which was episode 9, that was with Lobo Lara. Yeah. And what was your take on his interview?
Yeah, super dope, super chill. Kind of a quick episode, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but just a cool cat. Really dope music, like deals with like cumbia and electro cumbia. And, like, another reason why, if it's gonna be like a theme, I'll like usually nominate the musical people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just my lane for everybody out there wondering. But like I decided to like hey suggestion for the show because it was like another aspect of like Hispanic, Chicano, Latino music or Latin music, like that is just, it's almost fundamental, like cumbia and stuff like that. It's just like, it just had to happen to me, you know what I'm saying? So he has a dope project out called Immigrants. He definitely has like I just love like his imagery that he uses, for his his visuals and stuff like that. The subject matter that he puts on, even if it's like he has a song called Paletas, which it's like, that's all it says, is like paleta, but it's like, bro, like that's kind of like the energy that a paletero would give when he's out in the street hustling and moving, you know what I mean? So man, super dope kid. Told us the story of how he met up with the Americano label and stuff like that, and just really excited for all the successes that he's getting. And
I was gonna bring that up. That was one of the biggest takeaways for me on that episode, was the story about how he got signed, how he met people from Americano label, and it was like, to me it was just the essence of being in the right place at the right time. But not only that, but this was like a huge prime example to me of basically just throwing your hat in the ring, like rolling the dice, putting yourself in a situation to where you can possibly succeed. And that was his story. His story was he decided, it was kind of like a last minute thing, but he decided to go out to Salt Lake City, I believe, or something like that. It was like a mission, like 3 hours, and just kind of like out of the blue, people, his friends were like telling him, it's kind of crazy, man. So that's a bit of a mission there. But he said something in that interview too. He's like, when he was talking to his girlfriend, basically saying, if I keep doing the same things, how can I expect things to change? No, and I was like, I was thinking it, but it was like, to be able to hear it, it was like, okay, cool. Like, this guy like really understands, and so to be able to see that was just really, really cool to be able to hear somebody else thinking that way, having that state of mind. Because in today's world, it's kind of, I don't know, it just seems like harder to see people think like that. I'm going to go ahead and take this mission, nobody else, I might not even talk to this dude, but I'm just going to try. And man, I love stories like that, especially when they pan out the right way. So absolutely. For people who don't know, check out that episode. It was a great episode, and he talks vividly about that whole situation. So yeah, that was a huge takeaway. Yeah, man. Dope season finale. My feelings, I guess, on the season as a whole, it's just a dope experience. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm super busy, so I was slacking here and there. I got to stuff late, but man, like once you get the ball rolling, stuff just kind of like flows. And I don't know, man. I just enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a real, like just learning so much. You know what I mean? Like that's the big thing that I took away from this season, was just like education, and just like it was eye opening just to see like I'm from Idaho. I mean, you're from Idaho too, so like there's not a big focus up here about just like brown people doing big things. You know what I'm saying? So this was like just the biggest thing for me, because like here in Idaho, the biggest things that like we'll do up here that get any kind of recognition is like music and rapping, which is cool. But like when you throw like an artists that are like more successful, and you throw in teachers, you throw in stuff, obviously it's just like more eye opening, and like my world expanded throughout this whole season. So hell yeah, super dope. Yeah, I agree 100%. And that was like a huge thing as far as with the whole creating of the brand, showing people that, like you said, people like ourselves can actually do other things besides having to stick to, whatever stereotype or stigma, maybe around, your culture or whatever the case is. But the cool thing is that not only did we have a diverse group of people, but everyone still had a link to culture. Everyone still had, culture play out in their career and their, artistry or however you say it. But it was just really cool for me to be a part of this and to see, not only from this side, but to see how you put things together. And that's a big reason why I wanted to work with you as well as, we've worked on a couple of things in the past. Yeah, man, I just love creating, man. I love being a part of it. And although I'm not like the best at, I know where I'm good at in terms of what I can bring to the table and where I'm not at. So, not good at. So it's again, it was cool. It was cool, man, to be able to just be a part of something and just to see it grow, man. That's going to be my biggest thing is to see where we can take this. And I know, man, it's just a matter of time. As long as we stay true and we keep on having the best interests in mind, I think it'll pan out the way we're talking about it and we expect it. So yeah, man, it's been a great season.
No, absolutely. And the way that you just to really kind of finish off that, the way you say, the way I put stuff together, the way you put shit together, because there's a finesse and there's an art to reaching out to people that you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? That, I do it too, but man, I feel like you just getting the cream of the crop every time. You know what I'm saying? No offense to any of my past guests, so whatever, man. But yo, man, yeah, you really put this together, and it just kind of shows there is the hunger for more. I don't know how to say it. More true platform, because there are other Latin centric platforms out there, but I feel like most people know that they're like a subsidiary to like a BuzzFeed or something. Right. I think people. I may be wrong, but I do think people are like, oh, yo, this is ground up from the bootstrap type thing. Two Chicanos out there, learning and really trying to put on, getting that love, for that reason is always dope. You know what I mean? So and that's just. I'm gonna take credit for the graphics, bro, but I gotta give it to you for all the networking and stuff like that, and just really putting the way I put stuff together. I see that mirrored with you. You know what I'm talking about, bro? It's definitely a talent in itself. So hell yeah, man. Yeah. Dope ass season. Yeah,
100%. And for anyone that wants to check out, support us. We're doing our best to make sure to grow the platform. And in order to do that, we also have our gear and our merch. So, head to the website. Right now we do have a couple things in the works, so we'll have some new product out soon, very, very soon. And that website is www.lafronterasupply.com. We do this next season. Hopefully we'll be starting. We're working on that, but we'll let you guys know when the next season 2 will be coming out. Check out the website. Thank you guys again for all the support. Really means a lot to us. Again, like we said, it's grassroots from ground up. We reach out to everybody, as far as the people that come on, completely grassroots, you know what I'm saying? So, we want to make sure to keep it that way moving forward. And luckily, there's so many people like us that are doing good things. So it's just a matter of just reaching out. So, it's been great. Thank you guys again. Abel, I don't know if you have any last words.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We really do appreciate every click, every like, every share, every comment, because it's kind of a shot in the dark whenever you start up a new program. You just don't even know. I've made a few programs in my day. Christian's got the Everyday Hustle. I've got Chop Culture, and we're always thinking of new stuff, and sometimes it doesn't pan out, just to keep it a buck. But this, seems like I've only seen growth from this. So. And that's all due to you guys. So thank you guys for doing all that.
Yeah.
If you guys are new here, like, share, comment, subscribe. We want to talk to you guys in the comments. We'll be checking until the comments, get too crazy for us to manage. We'll be checking every single one, commenting on to every single one. Definitely thank you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, thank you guys again, and stay tuned. Check out the page. We'll have all that information in the show notes, and we'll keep you guys posted on all the stuff that we're working on here shortly. So thank you guys again.